Game Tech!
Hey everybody, so part one of this was the unboxing, and now we are going to actually do the installation. We've got our Veclesus wireless rear view camera system. Pretty much everything is, everything's back in the box. So I'm going to lay it out here on my little work table. We've got some Dr. Pepper to help us with this. Alright, just to get started with this, I've tried to separate these into what's going to go in the front of the car, which we'll talk about later on, and then the stuff that's going to go in the back. Obviously our camera, which we have here, these wires that will run from the camera via that connector to the reverse light, and some different wire clips, wire ties, and this doodad, which hopefully will get the liner off the back of the trunk. We've got our user manual, which isn't written, for a Toyota Camry. So your best bet is to have an iPad on hand, probably to look things up in case you don't get all the information for the car that you are trying to install for. Then we've got a nut here. I'll read the instructions on what that goes with. Allen wrench and a couple screws. Alright, folks, so the first thing we're going to do is get out of my chair, and we've got to work these things off, which, imagine this is what this doodad's for. I might need something a little stiffer. I was going to break this thing. Okay, so just so if you can see that in the screen, you get this up under there and pop that out, all right? And we want to, usually I like to have a bowl to put all these things in to help out with, but this time we did not set up for that, so we're just going to put them on the table. And you see now that I've remembered how to do this, these are, or at least that last one came out a lot easier. So trust me, these will be hopefully easier to put back in for you than they are to come out. And I should count how many we have here. We've got quite a few, folks. Probably a dozen of these things. So it is a really nice day here in Virginia, and I say nice. Nice to me is when it's in the 60s. And it may only be in the 50s, but it feels good. All right, so we don't waste recording time here, because nobody wants to watch me do all these. Basically have 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and then it looks like that one in the middle. And though you may be able to figure out how to do this without removing them all, I think it's just easier to just take them all out. So obviously the wireless makes this a lot easier because I don't have to run the wire through the car, which is probably the hardest part of this kind of installations. And if you're watching this and you have a question about the device, go ahead and leave me a comment down below. I'm so waiting to get a backup camera in this. I had previously bought the Walmart one that you probably noticed on one of my channels, and I was a little disappointed with that one. This one looks to be a lot better quality, so. Alright, so we've got a couple more of these to get out, but by golly, I think I can almost do it without taking them all off. Nope, you're gonna have to take them all off. Or at least one more. Alright, so of course that blocks the camera. So of course, if you don't have this little plastic gizmo, you can probably use a butter knife. You'll see some of these videos on here, people using sharp knives, which is just asking for trouble. Alright, so I'm going to get this and put it in here. Alright, so now we're going to have some fun. Now we are ready for the installation. So tools used to do the installation, we had a voltmeter, we had a drill bit for drilling into metal, silicone sealant, Haynes repair manual, specifically looking at the electrical schematic, a 12-volt test battery for the camera, tip. So should definitely have a friend or family member help you with the install. Make sure you know what you're doing, as mistakes can impact your electrical system in your car, and you don't want that. Use other YouTube videos as guidance for your specific car model, or do some research online. When in doubt, have a professional do the installation. Don't risk it. Have a 12-volt test battery, such as this one shown. This worked pretty good to verify the camera's working. And verify camera orientation before mounting. So if you don't do that, you might put the camera in upside down, and later you have to disassemble everything and change the screws out on the mount. Not too big a deal, but it does take a little time. All right, so finding the backup light, you're going to have to remove the upholstery, as we showed earlier, from the trunk using the orange tool or butter knife. Do not use a sharp knife or sharp object. If in doubt, have a friend hold the brake and put the car in reverse to locate the backup light. All right, you want to make sure you find a good point to ground to, such as this bolt that was in the trunk, which made a good grounding point.
We'll start opening up in reverse.
Okay. All right, so this initial test, And as we mentioned,
we got upside down.
Just so happens the camera.
We're halfway there, folks.
Down.
Halfway there.
See from the view,
there should be a thing on the screen to reverse it
correctly. So we ended up having to remove 4 bolts, 4 small machine screws, and flip the camera over. Not a big deal.
And there you go, folks. There is the backup camera.
And once that was done correctly,
it definitely does work.
You
It provides
see the camera
pretty decent picture.
In
Obviously,
right
we've got some
direction
adjustment to do to get it the right angle.
Back of the vehicle.
But glad to see it's working. So
and
we'll eventually mount it, and I'll show you some pictures of it.
Rotation.
Thanks for checking out the video.
So
Please make sure you like and subscribe. Thank you.
This thing figured out, putting it in reverse, and boom, there we go. So this is working out pretty good quality. Very happy with this purchase. Thanks for checking out.